Students in colonial times didn't use paper and pencils like they do now. The lady holds up a little chalkboard in a wooden frame. They used slates like these and wrote their answers down to show their teacher. She passes out slates, which are fun to write on. I draw a picture of Pierre with his beret and wish I had some green chalk to add a little smudge in honor of Albert. The woman takes out a pointed white hat. Now, this is something teachers began to use in schools towards the end of Noah Webster's life. It is called a dunce cap. As punishment for misbehavior, a child would have to wear it and stand in the corner facing the wall. I hear giggling. Shay is showing her slate to a bunch of other kids. There's a head wearing a dunce hat, and Allie is written underneath. What's the fuss about? The guide asks as she walks over. Then she turns to them. That isn't very nice. Erase that, please. I stand, willing the tears that come to my eyes to stop, knowing they will only give everyone more to make fun of. Are you all right? The guide asks me. Everyone is quiet now. They're all watching me. It's worse than the laughing, so I run out of the room and out of the museum. A woman calls to me, but I keep going. Out the door and around the back, across the lawn of a beautiful light green house. I find a swing set, which reminds me of my grandpa and how we spent hours on them at the park. I'll try to think about what he'd say now. And am sad that it's hard for me to remember his voice exactly. My hands slide down the chains as I sit on the seat, thinking of when I was little, when my world was in such a heavy place. I used to love to swing as high as I could, leaning back and reaching for a bright blue sky with my feet, and it made me feel like I could do anything, reach anything. I lean my cheek against the cool chain, feeling like I can't reach anything anymore. Then the tears come. And then standing in front of me are feet. Those shoes on them belong to Mr. Daniels. He stands for a while without saying anything until he finally says my name. All I can do to respond is sniff. Can you tell me what happened in there? I don't know what to say. Such a small question and such a giant answer. Please just leave me alone. He takes a couple of steps away and stays quiet for a bit. Then he says, my brother and I used to love to write in the sand on the beach when my family would go to Maine. I don't answer him. Then he picks up a stick and writes something in the dirt under the swing next to me. More words. Why can't I ever get away from words? He turns toward me and I stare at his knees. Allie, he says, holding up the stick, do you want to write something? I shake my head. I think of flying on swings through bright blue skies and away from words like dumb and freak and loser. He squats down in front of me. I'm sorry about whatever it was that upset you. Let me help. I take a deep breath, and when I let it all out, the words come with it. Nobody is ever going to be able to help me. Not ever. They all said I should have a dunce cap, and they're right. That's the thing. They're right. No, Allie. You actually believe that, don't you? I can hear that as a shock to him. I finally look up at him. Why wouldn't I? Because you are most certainly not dumb, Allie. You're just saying that. No, I'm not. Actually, for one, you are amazing on those bus driver math problems. You're one of the kids who gets the really hard ones correct. I look up into his face with the bright sun behind him and blurt out, but how come I can't read? It's the first time I've ever asked the question out loud. I guess because I'm so desperate for an answer. Oh, Allie, he says, this thing that makes school hard for you, I think you might have something called dyslexia. And it means that although it's hard for you to read, it doesn't mean you're dumb. He laughs a little. In fact, you, Allie Nickerson, are far from it. Your brain just figures things out differently than other people. I'm different. He's got that right. But no way I am smart like he says. You just don't understand. Yeah, Allie, I think I do. Then he leans in. And you know what? You're brave. I so want to be brave, but I know I'm not. Coming to school every day, knowing what you're in for, knowing school will be hard and that the other kids are going to razz you, and you still come every day and decide that you're going to try again. I stay quiet, just thinking about what he said, hoping he knows what he's talking about. And you know something else? In some ways, you're a lot smarter than other kids. You can also do things they can't. For one, you're an amazing artist. Those drawings of yours, wow, Allie, you've got talent there. What do you think about that? I think it's like saying, I'm sorry you're going to die, but at least people are going to bring you flowers. He laughs really hard now. See, that's serious, Allie. Only smart people say things like that. His voice drops. It's going to be okay, kiddo. I've never hoped for something so much as this. You and I are going to figure this out together. As a matter of fact, I already spoke to Mrs.